But the most vivid movie I still remember going to see that it was mandatory that you did acid was Apocalypse Now. Like it was known that you were not going to see that movie.
Based on what? Who told you that?
That was the word on the street. Before the movie even came out, like that was it. We're going to see that on acid. Bro, like, that was it. Everybody's doing acid and going. And like 20 of us would go and do fucking acid and go inside. You would hear people. It was 3D glasses without the 3D glasses. When they were doing the fucking scenes with the strippers and shit, that scene blew my mind because they did the Redux and they added all the Dutch scenes and shit. This is before all that.
Fuck the Dutch.
But when they were bombing them with the things, you're tripping your fucking balls off in the movie theater. We ate this acid that was double barrel sunshine. And we all went to see. I still remember vividly who I went to see that movie with. And what one of the guys did, this guy, John Crowley, there was a Carvel in that mall. This was the Fairview Cinema.
The Carvel cakes with the ice cream?
Yeah, but there was a store that gave you the cone. And somebody went into the movie theater and threw the cone down. And it was melting, and it had a few ants around it, and there was a long line. And he goes, watch, I'll cut in front of the line. And he picked up the fucking ice cream and started, we were all on acid.
Oh, yeah.
His name was John Crowley. He started eating the ice cream. And everybody in that line fucking froze, and we just walked in like we owned the joint.
People on acid were fucking eating...
No, people on acid were watching my friend eat a cone of ice cream that was melting with ants on it. He picked it up and ate it. You think people were going to fuck with him after that? And then, before the movie started, he went up on stage. We dared him. Go ahead, go up there on stage and tell the people. He was so fucked up on acid. He went up there. He's like, can I have your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen? And there people were fucking howling because they had just seen him eat a fucking ice cream cone outside with ants on it and shit. You know, like I went to all those. Another time, I went to a movie. I went to see AC/DC with a friend of mine, Kurt DiLorenzo. God bless his soul. And we did coke that night and booze, and we drank like blackberry brandy. But me and him were tight. And one night we pulled a Lee on him. Me, him, and his kid Louis Castellito went to a movie. I can't remember what movie it was. But on the way home, we were on fucking fire.
Yeah.
Like the acid was beaming. We were tripping. We were seeing shit.
That's crazy, bro.
And I think it was Louis Castellito kept saying, guys, I keep hearing sirens. And there were sirens. But I kept telling him, I don't hear no sirens. Damn. And the other dude played along with me. He's like, I don't hear no sirens. Dude, we kept walking. There must have been a fire somewhere. There's sirens everywhere. This guy's like, what? I wonder what's going on. Why are there sirens? And we're like, we don't hear no fucking sirens. Knock it off. And it had just rained. Like, when we were in the movie theater, it rained like... It rained a ton. And there was a pothole with water on it. Now, we're fucking with him for at least 15 minutes about the fucking sirens. He's hitting his ears and shit. He's like, I gotta make it stop. I gotta make it go away. We're fucking howling, me and Kurt. And there's a pothole filled with water. And I'll never forget, he bent over and took the water and started coming on his face.
That's gotta,
he started splashing the water on his face. And he kept saying, I still hear the sirens. And we're like, listen, knock it off. There's no fucking sirens. And after about another block of getting towards it, he just took off and ran off. Yeah, the next day we saw him. He's like, that was fucked up last night. He goes, I went home. I kept hearing sirens. Oh, my God. That is the best. When you take somebody, when he knelt down on Kennedy Boulevard, dog, and splashed water on his face. From the pothole, I nearly... And it was right across from Fairview fucking Diner. Me and George... And there was a little hill, so all the water ran into that pothole.
Oh, nice.
There was a couple inches of water when he bent... The street was still wet. But, dog, when he bent over and splashed water on his face, that was the killer LaRue right there.
I wonder if there's an increase in like mental institution, like in that
from
time.
acid,
from just Joey.
Oh, just from the repercussions.
Days of Joey, yeah.
Dude, I mean, well, acid was like a $6. People were always like, acid was more popular when I was young. You know, for $6, you might fucking die, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what was gonna happen with acid.
You know that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that was the thing.
That's the beauty of it.
That's what I loved about it. It was like and people would always complain like this acid's no good. Like it was $6 fucking, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It was $3 when I was growing up.
Yeah, you're lucky you're not dead. You're lucky you're not dead, dude. We had this boy in Barry shirts, and he would this dude, he took a hit too hard or had a bunch. He might have taken like 10 or 20 hits one time, and he would start to keep an extra shirt with him, right, and change his shirt when he was tripping. And then eventually it was like 2 shirts and in a bag, 2 shirts, 3 shirts.
He would just sweat.
Oh, just not even sweating, just switching shirts, bro. So you'd be hanging out with him, he'd leave the room and he would come back in a different shirt. And so then if you were on acid with him and you didn't know he did that shit, you didn't know he just had this kind of little psychosis thing he was going through, where he's just switching shirts, just fucking. So then every 40 minutes, he'd have on a different colored shirt. So if you were a new person, you didn't know. You'd be like, what the fuck, man? You'd think you were tripping even harder. Dude, we had time, and I remember bad acid would come through town, and like everybody would start acting a certain way. People would start, you know, I remember one time people wore like a bunch of like kind of, you know, Grateful Dead type of stuff. People wore vests. They'd have like a bad batch of acid would come through. Next, you know, half the town's wearing fucking vests. You know, women are gelling their hair down. I remember one time. Dude, they had this one dude at this party, and he'd apparently had taken a bunch of acid or he put it in his mouth. And for, you know, $4, whatever, he would like spit into your mouth like a hit of acid.
Why would you do something like that? That's disgusting.
But there wasn't anything else to do.
So I'm gonna let some fucking stranger spit acid in my mouth.
For
$4, I can put the acid in my mouth for free.
But we didn't have it.
Oh, you didn't have the $4.
We had the $4. We didn't have the acid. He had it inside of his system. And for $4 or in his, you know, he'd put it in his mouth. And then for $4, he'd fucking fire it into you. So next thing you know, bro, we spent about $36. We're fired up, dude, at this dude's party. This dude, I'll tell you, this dude, Icy Mike, right? So this dude used to get ice from anywhere. Like he would get water, and he had like a nice freezer. His family had one of those. You ever go downstairs in like some people's house and they keep meat in like an extra freezer? Like they don't want you stealing their meat, so they put it in like a special freezer down in the basement. Or
tremendous.